Okay. Finally on an upper day. Let's just hop straight into this first set of pull-ups. I've been hogging this machine long enough, setting up the camera and jotting down the workout tracking stuff that I forgot to jot down ahead of time. So we're running against the clock a little bit. Got a client in a couple of hours as well, so let's just hit this. Okay. Whew. Just get that down. Beautiful. It's a quiet one in the gym today, but at the minute. As soon as it hits 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, everyone post-work shows up, as it is in any other gym probably in the world. Get this upper session done, then back home. The fat loss phase stops this Friday, so looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. Just before Christmas, so it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Oh man. Got the what else is the new YouTube banner and Facebook banner, courtesy of my friend Danny. Thank you very much, Danny. I think they're looking pretty sweet, so happy with those. And things with the end of the fat loss phase, we're onto a new meso. So I've been doing pull-ups for, how long now? Last 12 weeks, I think. Eight weeks at least. The last 8 weeks for definite. Maybe 8 to 10 weeks. And I still love them, but it's time a few things. This and like a flat bench. Been in the rotation for a while, so it'll be nice to freshen things up a little bit. In terms of the split, I'm running this upper lower split. It's good, I like it. I think it's time to go back to something a little more classic, a little more bodybuilding focused. Whilst I run this maintenance phase at least, maybe push-pull legs, something nice and simple, nothing crazy, 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah. I don't have to, on maintenance, I don't have to push the volume all that much really, because I'm just trying to maintain what I got and actually using that as an opportunity to lower my fatigue, ready for the next time I need to hit the fat loss phase. So, but yeah, let's hit a second set of this and then we'll see what's happening. Hey. Whew. I'll say that. I didn't really do partials on the second and third set. I like to have the top set nice and clean reps, just for tracking purposes, really. And then the second and third set, just as an intensifier, so I'm not here all day. Whack some partials in. You know, especially because of like the force curve, the leverage disadvantage your lats get at when you're at that peak contraction. You know, you can definitely crank out those lats a little bit more in that bottom half range of motion. Plus it's in that stretch, which is always great. Probably going to grow more muscle down there anyway. So why not? Why not milk it? Why not get those extra few? Especially if I'm only doing 3 sets, you know. It's 10. That's 5 partials. Whew. Okay. One more set of this. Then we'll hop into the Meadows rows. Yes. Meadows rows after this. Oh man. Whew. Okay. Meadows rows it is. Okay. On a new tub of the Applied Nutrition Carb X. I'm on the what is it? The Forest Fruits or Berry Blast or something along those lines. And I was using the, I think it was Orange Burst, the one before. This one tastes way better in my opinion. Not that the orange one tasted bad as such. I know, just it didn't taste nearly as good as it smelled. It smelled incredible, but taste-wise, it left something to be desired. Okay. Plan for these. Just grind it out. So set on one side, minute rest, set on the other side, rinse and repeat. Only 2 sets each side here anyway, so. Set the timer up. Okay. Quite warm in this actually. Take this off. Ah, Nemesis taking a jacket off whilst wearing Versagrips. Go. Let's go. Oh man. In a minute. Whew. Oh man. It's taken quite a few sessions, a few weeks, to really grasp the kind of mind-muscle connection and the technique that I'm looking for on this. But I'm really starting to get it, and I'm really starting to love it. I was saying before, in one of the reels that I posted, just backed off on the weight, really focused on the technique. You really present almost like you're presenting your scapula to the floor. So you're trying to give, as if you're trying to give your shoulder blades to the floor. Is kind of how I think about it. You just get a gnarly stretch in kind of your mid-back. Oh, so good. Okay. Whew. Back to the right side. Felt less in touch with that one. Still trying to figure it out, but getting better each week. Because sometimes, like, let's say you're changing your movements every 2 or 3 weeks. sometimes it can take 3, 4, 5 weeks before you really kind of grasp the technique of a particular movement, before your central nervous system really adapts to it. So, I don't know, having certain, at least a few, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like baseline lifts or baseline exercises or movements across multiple mesocycles, 2 to 3 mesocycles, 8 to 12 weeks, something like that. That can be really useful for not just tracking progression, but, well, yeah, tracking progression, but really tracking progression, really tracking strength progression, rather than just subbing out an exercise every 2 weeks, you know. And a lot of the strength improvement you might get from it in those 2 to 3 weeks is more from kind of central nervous system and neurological adaptations, rather than actual muscle mass being kind of put on or strength adaptations being made. So, last set. Okay. Whew. That's those done. Okay. Whew. 82.5. Unevenly loaded, of course. Back on it with the Poland syndrome text, I guess. Let's log this in. So we're going for, what are we going for? 12 reps. Minimum. 13 would be nice. 12 reps minimum. Take a little rest before I get going. So, quick note about cardio whilst on a fat loss. It's something a lot of people do. They're like, well, I need to lose weight, right? I need to burn fat off. So I'm gonna just do what I'm doing the same. I'm just gonna move more. I'm just gonna do cardio, etc., etc. The only problem is with that is that it's infinitely easier to cut 500 calories off your diet than it is to burn an extra 500 calories. Okay, like way easier. That being said, however, you can just improve your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. You know, moving around more, taking the stairs instead of the lift, parking further away from the shops, getting stuck into cleaning jobs. So I'm on a fat loss phase and I don't specifically do any cardio as such, but I cut my calories and I try and get X amount of steps per day. So I try and get at least 12,000 steps per day, which is quite hefty, but when you work a pretty physical job like myself, doing the gym instructing and such, so not only am I instructing people, going up and down, fetching people up and down stairs, when I'm in free moments, when I've got 3 hours, I'm getting stuck into my cleaning, I'm getting hoovering, I'm getting wiping stuff down and whatnot, here, there and everywhere, carrying buckets up and down stairs and whatnot. So I'm able to get at least 12,000 steps most shifts, if not 15,000 steps. And those are just really good ways to just up your daily activity a little bit. Walking instead of driving, parking further away, to taking the stairs, etc., etc. Yeah, cut your calories and just increase your steps. You don't necessarily need to do dedicated cardio as such. It's not that it's a bad strategy. So, you know, as long as we're doing dedicated cardio and cutting calories, that's totally fine. I'd say just doing cardio instead of cutting calories, that's a rough one. I was so tempted. I was so tempted to go for another. 11. Not ideal. I think what that is that, as I was saying, oh no, the camera car. Basically, I've been doing my upper sessions specifically. Lower sessions to an extent, but not really. My upper sessions antagonistically. So training a back movement, a push movement, a pull movement, a push movement, vice versa like that, right? And I just felt I wasn't really, by the time I got into the groove with my push movements, I was onto a pull movement and vice versa, right? And I felt like the pumps, I wasn't really getting a pump as such in any particular area. And it's something they drilled into me when I was doing the PT qualification. Not drilled into me, but it's something that they spoke about, that you should do antagonistic sets if you're doing like kind of upper, lower, or full body. And it kind of went against what I thought, but I thought, maybe I'll roll with it. So I programmed it for myself in this current mesocycle, and I've been doing the antagonistic stuff. And just wasn't gelling with it. It didn't, for me, hitting my pull movements, getting them done, then doing my push movements, getting those done, completing muscle groups rather than kind of going in between makes more sense in terms of metabolic fatigue, at least in terms of like the target musculature. In order to really be able to stimulate the target musculature that I'm trying to train. All of that to say, up until today, I've been doing antagonistic. So I did these immediately after I did pull-ups. But today, I did Meadows rows first. So I'm slightly a bit more systemically fatigued than I normally would be, which explains why this was feeling a lot heavier. I noticed as soon as I picked it up, I was like, damn, this feels heavy. Probably because I've just done 4 sets of Meadows rows, right? So I'm just more systemically fatigued than I would be typically. So that makes sense. Does that make my disappointment any less severe? No. But it's a reason as to why, rather than you've lost muscle and you're getting weaker. It's, oh, okay, no, actually, you didn't have as much raw energy as you normally would at this point in the session. I just spat everywhere. So, that utter disappointment aside, let me log that down, and then we'll get on to the second set. We're going for 9. That'll be rough. See if we can get 8. 8 acquired. We're saying here something like 12 last time. We'll see. I'll be happy with 10, to be fair. Take 30 more seconds. And we'll hit it. And it's straight on to machine flies, which after today, I'm quite happy to get out of the mesocycle. I was really enjoying them at the start. Now not so much. Now not so much. Okay, let's get cracking. Ugh. 11. Okay. Fly machine's free. Let's hit that. Let's get this set up for a 1 pec wielder. Like this over here. Okay. Oh, what? So it turns out the seat's broken. Let me see how this feels. That'll do. Oh man, that's the feeling I've been craving in the chest the entire meso, man. But when doing the antagonist stuff, just doesn't quite get the same pump wise. But now that feels good. I mean, again, the reps are off for the opposite reason than they were on the bench, because instead of having more systemic fatigue, by this point I would have the same amount of systemic fatigue. However, I've got more metabolic fatigue because I haven't had the recovery from going from bench to meadows back to the flies. I've gone straight from bench to flies, so my chest is literally more tired. Tit for tat, this is something I really should have considered a little bit more before I swapped the order around. But as long as the main boxes are ticked, you're training hard enough with enough volume. Everything else is secondary. One thing I get a lot of clients say to me, or people in general, is that they're getting, oh, I've got this thing in my shoulder, or these made me feel X in my chest, or these feel funky on my calf. I always go, okay, Is it painful? Most of the time the answer is no, it's not painful. I just feel something there. And I go, okay, I'd say just keep doing what we're doing. Ease into the weight, ease into the technique and the range of motion, particularly if you're going a lot deeper than you have been before. Ease into that. Keep pushing through, doing the movements anyway, so long as no pain presents and it's not getting in the way of like mobility or pain day to day outside of training. If it's only appearing during your training and it's not painful, it's just something you can kind of feel, I'd say just keep going. Again, don't balls to wall it, ease into the technique, ease into the weight, but keep training through it regardless. And a lot of the time you find those things just kind of go away. And it's just the nerves misfiring because of novelty, because of X, Y, and Z, and it's never usually anything serious. If pain starts to present, if mobility starts to get cut off, then obviously we want something a little bit more serious. Back off entirely, you know, see a physiotherapist if possible, kind of get that investigated, and then be able to like rehab it or whatnot. But otherwise, generally speaking, a lot of the twinges or kind of aches, they're not really anything to worry about. Just go easy, ease in, still train hard, but just ease into the weight and the technique, and you should be fine. Lengthen partials. Something I like to put in on a few movements: flies, pull-ups, lat pull-downs, some kind of rows, lateral raises sometimes. Especially if I'm in a situation like I am now, frequency's a little bit lower, so I like to push the intensity. You know, kind of the way that I'm doing at the minute. Lower volume than I would if I was trying to grow. Not low volume as such, but lower. Keeping the intensity there, pushing the intensity, so long as my recovery's okay. So long as I'm not, you know, so long as I'm maintaining my strength, I feel recovered enough for the next session. It's kind of fine, right? Obviously, if I was getting to each session and I was feeling good, feeling great, but my strength was going down, I'm probably not hitting it hard enough, I'm probably not doing enough volume or training hard enough. And let's say I get to the next session, and every session for the next week I just feel knackered, I feel worn out, but I haven't changed anything apart from just how hard I'm training in the sessions. I'm probably overdoing it intensity-wise, and thus my fatigue is too high. Thus I probably need to back off on the intensity a little bit. Maybe try and match the volume by just doing straight sets, but stopping a few reps shy of failure or whatnot, and trying to ease back on the kind of systemic fatigue I'm going to be generating from that. But if your strength is maintaining, you feel recovered, hey man, win-win. Lateral raises. I was doing super ROM for ages, like going all the way up. Not so much anymore. Well, not currently. Just variance-wise, going for more of a standard range of motion. Totally fine. I get to up the weight a little bit there as well. So it's kind of nice change. I think I was doing super ROM for probably about 16 weeks. At that point I was kind of struggling to feel the muscles as much. The shoulder joint was feeling a little bit clunky. So, which is mad because I actually, you know, use less range of motion and up the weight, and it feels a little bit better just from a variance standpoint, right? It's not the same thing being hit over and over again. So, I mean, there's only really one way to train your side delts as such. You know, bring your elbow from here to here, for whichever means necessary. But even still, those little changes can help in the long term for progression, and also like physiological and psychological stress and fatigue, and etc. etc. So, let's go for a set of these. So I'll be doing some MyRep match stuff on these. Do some straight reps, then some partials, add them up, and then the next 2 sets will be MyRep matches of that. Okay. Whew. 14 plus 4, 18 total, so 14 reps plus 4 partials. We'll be doing 2 sets MyRep match. Oh man. I probably shouldn't sing along, I don't want to get copyrighted. Yeah. You know, speaking to a friend this morning actually about cold exposure, ice baths, all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. And quite the trend, quite popular. From what I know, depending on your goals, they can be great. So in context in which they're good, like let's say you're an athlete and you've been training pretty hard and you've got to perform the next day for a game or an event or something like that, doing some cold exposure after your training the day before, bring down the inflammation and whatnot in your muscles. It's gonna mean you're gonna be able to perform better the next day. Another context in which they're great, let's say 1 in the morning you do ice bath or a cold shower or something, and you just really enjoy it and it makes you feel really fresh and awake for the rest of the day. You know, doing something hard at the beginning of your day, everything else seems quite easy. Great, amazing. It's absolutely fantastic for that kind of stuff. Where it's not so great is if you think that by hopping into an ice bath after like your like hypertrophy training specifically, or even strength training, in order to help your recovery, it's not actually going to help your recovery as such. It's not going to help you grow more muscle. It's not going to help you get stronger. It's going to blunt and kind of dampen the effects and the inflammation and the healing process that allows you to get bigger and stronger, so that you can like just kind of keep pummeling without, you know, kind of soreness getting in the way. So if you're looking to grow strength-wise or size-wise, and you're using it as a tool in order to do that after your training or when you're feeling sore, probably not the best idea. It's actually probably hindering both gain size and strength gains as well. Probably better to avoid it in that context. However, if you are sore and you need to perform the next day, it'll get the job done. 18 reps, however many rest pauses it takes to get there. Okay. Two and two. Four, five. Fuck. Okay. Let's lower the weight and do the same thing again. Okay. Time for a couple of sets of tries and a couple of sets of buys. Both with the easy bar for simplicity's sake. Because at this point, I've already been here long enough. So, 2 sets of easy bar French press. Ish. I think French press technically is supposed to be sat straight up. I'm more on an incline. I just prefer it that way. Still getting all the way back, elbows nice and tucked for a nice deep stretch. And it's kind of like a halfway point between a French press and a skull crusher. And then some standing easy bar bicep curls, which I'm not gonna lie, I just hate at this point. Alas, change is coming, so let's hit a set of these. Feeling a lot better mood-wise, energy-wise than I was the other day for that lower session I recorded. That's good. Just being underslept so deep into a fat loss diet, you know, man, can really just mess with your psychology a little bit. And if you're what's the word I'm looking for, prone to low mood when like your physical state is low, you know, it's kind of like accident waiting to happen. So But these things do happen, and being able to kind of persevere through them and just being like, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling. Despite that, I'm just going to keep doing what I know I want to do and want to achieve and need to do in order to achieve that. Then when you come out the other side of it, you're like, I'm so glad that I just kept going rather than, you know, stopping, quitting, because for that one particular moment my head wasn't in the right place. And then that becomes a self-reinforcing spiral of like, oh, well, I gave up, da, 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 da. So if you can just keep persevering and have that discipline to know when to stop or when not to stop, that's what it's about. Okay. The equivalent, but biceps. Okay. Home, quick snack, PT client at the home gym, and then try and edit some of this stuff. I'll catch you in the next one.